I didn't do a good job getting us ready to play for this game. We just didn't come out right at all. We're just a little bit flat. Didn't have the edge we needed, and so we can't afford to do that. So I think I understand why it happened, and so I think I'll be able to make some adjustments in terms of the days leading into to a game like this. But outside of that, the second half was great. Some really sat down and guarded better, and played better at the offensive end as well. So it was really good second half.
What do you like about Joe Son coming off the bench? Because obviously you've played that way the last 6 games, as good as he is, and just having him come in.
I know people get hung up with that, like who starts and stuff, but he's basically a starter. I mean, he's going to play 30-plus minutes. He was in the game tonight, I think, within like 2.5 minutes or so. That's going to be the norm. And I don't know who it's going to be that will come out, but someone will. Because I need him in the game, so he's going to be in the game a lot. Yeah.
You look at the second half defense, was just effort, intensity, or some other things that led to such a great effort?
I just think we felt like we didn't compete with necessary energy. Came out, we missed a lot of open shots early in the game, turned the ball over a lot. I mean, we just did a lot of bad things, so it wasn't the most pleasant locker room at halftime. And so they responded. The guys responded and then played harder. And when you have someone that could block a shot the way, Lav couldn't have drawn up a better play to run against us. And they went side to side. They had a nice spin, back cut, should have had a wide open layup, and I don't know where JQ came from to block that. When you have someone on your team that could do stuff like that, it's just it demoralizes your opponent a little bit, and it intimidates your opponent, and that's why he's special.
Well, players said that you didn't do anything that warranted a technical foul, but it seemed like that maybe gave the guys a spark, because right after that, you guys went on a run. Did you feel that?
I was hot on it, but I've been doing this so long now that nothing really surprises me anymore. So I just kind of, once I lost my tie, I just kind of moved on and that was kind of closure for it. And I just kind of concentrated on coaching the team and not as much dealing with those guys.
They were lethargic, but your team was lethargic before that, and after that, not really.
I could tell that there was a little more juice, a little more pop to what we were doing. So I'm not sure that. I was yelling at them a lot in the huddles too. We were all frustrated just with how we were performing at that point in the game. So there was a lot of because even in Palm Springs, when we got down to New Mexico and we were losing to St. Mary's, I was relatively calm. And I was hey, we're fine. We're in the game. We're going to make our run. Everything's okay. We're not perfect. Tonight I was fairly negative, just by what we looked like in that first half, for most of that first half.
Was it just kind of complacency? Was it Thanksgiving hangover?
I can't specifically say without maybe rewatching it. I do remember we had some pretty clean looks. We missed free throws. We turned the ball over. We gave them some transition baskets. We didn't play anything like we had been playing over the last couple of weeks, so it was a little bit frustrating in that first half.
What kind of goes through your mind in the moment when you see JQ making those big athletic plays that he does?
I was just kind of in awe of seeing it. Is it something I could never do, maybe on an 8-foot basket or something, when I was 7 years old or 8. But it's even his block in the first half, when he fell down and then got up and blocked. It's scary, his timing and his instincts and his mobility for someone so big.
How well have you seen the three freshmen work together?
Yeah,
so far?
I liked that they were in the game together. It was it coincided with a really good stretch that we had at both ends of the floor. So it was nice that we had the opportunity to get Amir involved with JQ and Joe. And Joe was making plays on offense. JQ was dominating the paint, blocking shots, and Amir just impacted the game in a number of different ways. Didn't really shoot it great, but he did some other things well.
Coach, it seems like Mason kind of seems to be the steady force there in the middle. what from your vantage point as a coach, how important is it to have a guy like him in those moments where things aren't really falling your guys' way to help the freshmen, especially too?
He's a very stable guy. Very stable. Played a lot of basketball. I sleep good at night knowing he's going to be dribbling the ball down the floor. He's just like takes command of the team, runs the team, understands everything we're doing, and can make plays. He's a guy that's proven over our initial stretch here that down the stretch he's a guy that we could go to late in games to make a shot and certainly knock down his free throws.
You mentioned it's only going to be 2.5 minutes that Josan isn't in the game to start.
Yeah.
But what is the key to getting the offense clicking in those first few minutes without him?
I wouldn't say that there's a pattern that's developing and us not playing well right away. I think tonight that happened. Certainly, I'd have to go back and look at a bunch of these games, but I don't think that something needs to be changed or done a whole lot different. We didn't respond well to. And I don't know. And again, I took the hit because I said I didn't prepare him right because I didn't. There are things I could have done in practice leading into this that we wouldn't have looked like we looked in the first 8 minutes. And I was too nice to them, and I'm not going to do that again.
Bashir mentioned that you guys had a couple of days off before this game, and that you just kind of spoke a little bit about wanting to change things heading into games when you have time. With only a couple of games left in the month of December, with a lot of time between breaks, what is it that you think you're actually going to do differently in the weeks leading up to before the Florida game or before the game?
Yeah, I was more saying what I did yesterday and on Sunday to get us here. Those are the most crucial days. And Sunday was too light, and yesterday was too light, and we were not ready. And I think put too much into my head about just what New Mexico and St. Mary's back-to-back might have taken out of us physically. So that's on me. But I think, when we had the big break of 8 days going into New Mexico and St. Mary's, we were ready to play those games. So we'll have now 11 days, and I've already put together a plan of how we're going to attack the next 11 days. It'll be a mixture of taking care physically, refreshing some guys that are banged up, getting our legs back, mentally refreshing them, and then really getting after it on the practice floor to start getting ready for that game.
Finish up with Michael.
And Coach, I'm sure he's talking about defense, talking about Jaden's blocks, but when he is going like that, and the defense starts feeling like you said after the first 8 minutes of the first half, but you feel that even helps the flow and just keeping the ball moving on offense as well too.
Well, his activity, the deflections, the blocks, we could get out in the open court maybe and get some easier baskets and not have to just stay in a half-court game. So if we could just do that more, and in the second half we did that. We not only JQ, but I think everyone was more active on the defensive end.